Hiya, I'm Tova.
And I'm Racheli and together we connect through the stories we hear.
During our episodes, we hope to learn,
revolutionize,
inspire, transform, and bring relatable content to you.
We would like to also discuss and internalize how your story can be someone's savior. This is the official
Together We Connect
podcast. Hello everyone, it's Racheli
and Tova.
We are back, and it's been a while.
Yeah, and the start of a new year.
It's the beginning of 2026. It's crazy to say, but last year kind of flew by.
Crazy.
So,
yeah.
Thanks for listening, firstly. And also, we have a very special guest. But before we introduce him, we really want to have the opportunity to basically
share that together we connect, to share people's stories, and Racheli wants to go in more how we're going to open up more channels to
not just the feminine energy, but the male energy as well, masculine energy. So, without further ado, we are going to introduce Nic. Hi, Nic.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. I was going to say, because we're in Glen Hazel, perhaps you could say without further ado.
Love that.
Sorry. Don't crash your car when you do that, please. Hey, listen, it means a lot for me to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here
and
with us.
I think what you guys are doing is vital, because it's not only about maybe saving a life, but it's about enhancing quality of life.
Now I know you reminded me of someone, and I don't know if you know from an old-fashioned episode back in the day, the two Ronnies.
Which Ronnie?
You look like the little one. Just because of the glasses. He had the better sense of humour.
Yes, he did. He brought in his BlackBerry because it wasn't working.
And that's exactly as
You tried it on orange.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there we go.
Have you watched
No,
it? Okay.
it's just hilarious to experience watching this happen. It's just fun.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so we started off with.
Yeah.
So Tova's not going to call him Nic anymore.
It's Ronnie one.
Ronnie one.
Yeah.
So Nic has a huge amount of things that he does. You can even list them.
Cool.
This.
Okay.
Yeah, and
First,
then
I'm putting my phone on silent. So, yeah.
very professional. So Nic has an incredible stories because we all do, and I'm very excited for him to actually just share, because I don't want to spoil anything. I want it to come straight from his mouth. So, firstly, what do you do, Nic?
Interesting question. What do I do? So
What don't I do?
What don't I do?
It would be easier.
So I think let me premise that. Yeah.
Julie Andrews, let's start at the very
beginning.
Yeah.
It's a very good place to start. Now, I'm not going to sing because it's going to be like the cats are going to start howling. Thank you. Anyway, well, singing on the podcast. So I think very simply, let me start off by saying this. I am dyslexic. I have ADHD. Even the other one's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, but more so than that, there's also a couple of cognitive issues and developmental issues as well. Something that was really cool, I'm now a DPNA when I travel internationally, which is kind of cool, disabled person needs assistance, hidden disability. That goes to anxiety, to stress, to all of these cognitive developmental issues, also being an alcoholic, that the stuff is there and put out, because we call it Alcoholics Anonymous, but you want to put it out into the world just to make it safer, so that the steward know not to come too close with the drinks trolley. They can serve you a coffee first and then ignore you. Type of thing. These are the small kind of things. So even where you sit on an aeroplane, because flying is something that's very, very stressful for me, because you can't leave. But so that being said, for now, I'm the founder of EMET Gyms. So we are a physical gym where we have a space in Bluebird Center. We also do corporate training, where we go out to corporates. We do school training as well for strength and conditioning. We do self-defense workshops for schools, corporates, universities. And we also do a lot of free work through our development academy for disadvantaged communities. When COVID hit, we had to take the business online. We grew that. very quickly to about 15 different countries, because through our development academy, I had 5 coaches that I was now responsible for looking after and feeding. And COVID was tough. It was interesting. There was a little bit of trauma coming back into this neighborhood because I used to walk this road late at night or early in the morning to get my exercise in during lockdown. It was probably the best place to be in Glen Hazel because it's boomed off and it's easy to move.
It's a great cliff too.
Yeah, absolutely. No, great area to live. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's beautiful view.
It's like so quiet. It's really, really cool. And I think there's 14 shuls in this road.
Yeah.
Or there's 3.
What did they say? 13. No, 15 Jews and 14
Yeah,
shuls. Yeah, basically. Yeah, you're gonna have to throw a cat pretty far not to hit a shul. Okay, wait.
There's a lot of talk about cats.
Yeah, not that you want to hit a shul with a cat. So, guys, we've got nothing against cats. Please.
I'm more of a dog person.
Easy. Okay, so we got one person. No. Okay. Sure.
So I have a question, but we
yes.
can answer it a bit later. So I can hear you do a lot of things, a lot of multiple things. Someone with a dyslexic, ADD, and like I say, anxiety, cognitive brain, that must come with some difficulties, but we can approach that soon.
So
just a few.
Yeah, it came with every single one of the challenges that I grew up with. I realized later in life, and after having done a lot of work, and I've been sober for 19 years, that sobriety brought the lesson of that my problems, my challenges were actually my superpowers. Because it afforded me the gift to see the world completely differently to anyone else. Which means you can see needs, see opportunities. Also, being an alcoholic, any addict is an HSP, a highly sensitive person. And that sensitivity allows you to pick up on nuances. So all of these things that were really challenging growing up, in building a relationship with myself, getting to know myself, being kind to myself, trusting myself, everything that we need to work on doing afforded me the opportunity to realize, and let's just unpack it at the end of the day, what I thought were my limitations turned out to be some of my biggest brochers.
Wow.
And now it's the opportunity to use them, which is and to honor those gifts, because I think if you get a really nice gift, you've got to honor it. You know,
wow.
so.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. So just as an example, the gym, when I started the gym, I borrowed, I was in insurance for also about 15 years, got wiped out financially, lost everything that wasn't of value, and then came back to Johannesburg, worked in the inner city of Johannesburg for a year for a friend of mine, Robbie Cohen. And one of the very, very cool things about that was a company called Dabba Telecoms, working in the inner city. So really cool, getting to meet amazing people, seeing the lifestyle and the quality of life. At that time, there were over 1 million people legitimately living in Johannesburg, in the inner city. Crazy.
Yeah.
What a wonderful community and environment. So what happened then, I started the gym. The gym went really well, and I needed to grow the gym. So I got to use some space that a friend of mine gave me in his home. He had a dojo, but there were other young kids using that dojo as well, training out of there. And they said, no, I can't share the space with them between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. So anyone in the personal training space, in the coaching space, knows that's incredibly valuable time. The times are 5 a.m. to about 9 a.m. and then 3 to 7 or 3 to 8.
Wow.
So I had to find something to do. So again, instead of looking for other space potentially, I looked for other markets, and that's how we got into corporate. And probably pre-COVID, we were the biggest corporate trainers around. We worked with multiple companies, very, very big names, international banks, international shipping agencies and transport companies. Was huge. The business was really doing incredibly well. So that diversity helped. Then from that evolved other products. I like to productize everything that we do. So building a self-defense workshop as a product, building for schools an ankle mobility and knee health workshop as a product.
Right.
So all of this type of stuff. So the productizing of specific multiple things that you do makes it easier for the market to understand and to sell. So
to sell.
To sell,
yes,
exactly. No, but that's it, exactly.
Very clever.
Honoring the gifts. Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, this is because my brain doesn't work the same as a normal brain. It doesn't say I'm smarter than people. It's just I see the world very differently, and that means I see other opportunities.
Creative.
Yeah.
Creative.
That's it. And it's struggling, can't read, can't write, and I'm very challenged to read. I'm very challenged to write. But now with our mobile phones, everything's dictation, and I use ChatGPT and Google Gemini as thought filters, and just I brain vomit, as I call it. And then they batch it all into, and it makes it clear and concise. It's taken months and months away. Everyone's going to want it.
But in terms, it's just interesting because me and Tova are sitting here, and we both have very serious academic issues.
No, okay, so let me say this then, if I may. And I mean this seriously, I mean this with all due respect to the beautiful, caring, committed, passionate, engaged teachers out there, who are amazing, whether you're a teacher or a lecturer or a whatever.
I'm from England. You don't need to be nice.
No. So I grew up, there were many times that I came close to killing myself when I was drinking. And I speak about this lightly. Sometimes the things that stopped me was remembering the relationship with many of my teachers. That's how valuable it is, and it was. So I don't believe in a learning disability. I believe in a teaching system disability.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Just
in
because they
agreement.
can't get the info into my head the way they want to, doesn't mean I can't access the info.
No,
and don't give me
100%.
stuff that doesn't interest me. Like, I'm not going to get engaged with it. So sorry, parents. Sorry, you were saying before I rudely interrupted.
No, not at all. I interrupted you.
I'm also dyslexic and list and everything in between that. But also like ChatGPT's like just changed my life as well.
Yeah.
Like suddenly like organizing my brain to the mishmash, and then I write into ChatGPT, please make simple and clear for everyone else.
It's so funny because
Don't write.
I messaged
dictate.
Tova saying I'm so overwhelmed, and she's like, "Don't worry, I got you, girl." And you send this whole very, very specific list on what to do, and I'm like, "Wow." ChatGPT.
But it's funny because I have to write
So your writing is how your brain communicates with the world.
So I write, but I have to type to make things clear. Like it's
100%. So for me, it's my mouth. This is too much. This is way ahead of this, which is my challenge. But my mouth, not so much. So
my brain is way ahead. Like when I'm writing, I'm not writing sentences. I talk about my daughter. She's 16 months, my baby, and she speaks, one word, like more, or not. She's not even there yet. But like that's how I write. What?
Verrogen.
She's totally saying that. No, but that's how I write in note form, because then my brain's like whizzing too fast.
Okay, I really want to get to this. I do want to get to this, but
so,
I really...
Yeah, I know, it's a lot. Right, so...
No. I want you to carry on. I also want to go back to little Nick.
Cool, okay, we will. So, the thing with the business is then... everyone went back. I bought a whole bunch of audiovisual equipment, started with phones, and in the garden over there. That's how we started.
Just a few rooms.
Actually, the chief was my first online client, and that was about 2 years before COVID. So he was traveling a lot. I was traveling a lot. Epic. We have the only chief rabbi in the world, and I'm putting this on the record. Sorry, chief. They can do a one-arm push-up.
Nice.
Yep.
Rabbi Bolstein.
Yep.
I want to see that.
Sorry, I hope I don't get
Shame,
in trouble.
now he's going to be like, why, Nick?
No, exactly. Well, we did discuss something like demoing at Miracle Drive or at one of the conferences.
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
That would be kind of cool. Right. Anyone disagree with my plan? Come and beat me in my one-arm push-ups.
That's so funny.
He's a machine. It's phenomenal. And it's just so wonderful to be able to spend 30 minutes with him a couple of times a week. It's very special. So, anyway, I digress, as always. Everyone went back to gym after COVID. So we had all of this equipment, had to find something to generate income with it. We started live streaming powerlifting competitions, so I'm involved in the sport, and that evolved from club level to provincial to national to international level. Several years down the line, we now stream multiple different sports, all over the world. The last 3 months of last year, by the way, when I say all over the world, let me say all over Africa for now, this last year. But we've done multiple international events. We did 6 international events in 2.5 months and 3 provincials in the last 2.5 quarters. What?
Say that whole line again.
Okay, we live streamed 6 different international world championships and 3 provincial championships in 2.5 months.
Wow,
I think that,
congratulations.
thank you. In
Whiskers.
that time,
And here
was
I am
home
just
about
wanting
8
to
days.
know what your PB is.
Yeah, so, and so interesting question. We can go into that. So you know that was something that was really
Personal best lifting
yeah,
score.
Oh,
PB,
okay.
PR, personal record, personal best, absolutely,
Cool.
a lot of fun.
Okay.
So you know that side of the business grew. Out of that grew EMET Beats, which is our record label. I think we now have 8 or 9 albums on Spotify. We're going to be doing some amazing fun stuff for competitions. Out of that side of the business as well, the streaming, at the same time we started EMET Media, which is our media business. So that's the photography, the streaming, the content
It's
creation.
like a whole marathon within itself.
Yeah, for sure. Then from that
That's any business, eh?
out
Any
of that-
event. You would know that.
No,
Yeah.
no. So we do the audio, we do the lighting, we do the streaming, we do the
Did
photography.
you study?
We do the setup.
What is your...
My background,
Yeah.
I have a matric.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do have a check. I
Yeah.
don't even have like...
Okay.
Didn't finish
Your-
school.
and your grade eight,
Didn't
what?
even get it. Yeah,
Okay.
somewhere. Yeah.
I got a diploma, guys.
Woohoo!
Woo.
You win. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And then I became a personal trainer.
I think I
and
have a
didn't-
DPFM diploma.
I didn't
in
even
personal
do.
financial
It's
management.
so funny because
Yeah.
this is how I met Nick. I was shadowing
Yeah.
through EMET, and I spoke to you a lot about it. And you actually mentored me quite a bit into like what I should do.
Uh-huh.
And then I joined Trifocus Fitness Academy, and I got 8 certificates in the personal
wow.
training.
So-
And then I
Yeah.
didn't even pursue it.
Yep.
And
So-
now I own a hair salon. That's a
Fabulous.
yeah, just a different
Huh? Well,
different path,
I
right?
mean, you're getting to the roots, right?
My mom, this is a shout out to my mom if she's
Yeah.
listening.
When you better be listening, please leave a comment below. Prove that you are listening. You know, but like it's so for me. Maybe it's because I'm challenged with academia, but what's amazing to see, and I had the head of a business school on my podcast. The Henley Business School was incredible talking to him. He's a pilot in the way, he's having the most incredible life. And what we spoke about is how education, particularly higher education, and in South Africa, and also with Henley, like how it's changed. So now it's geared towards someone like me, where it's not parrot fashion, study and regurgitate. Parrot fashion, study
More
and
for
so
Shan.
looking at more understanding. So for me, I've never been a fan, because of what I grew up with, of those kind of institutions, school and high school. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of after school study unless it's for, you know, something specific, medicine, architecture, that kind of thing. But, you know, like with Henley, as an example, from what I saw, it's changed. Amazing concept and connection to the students and how they learn. However, that being said as well, for stuff like we do, nothing beats apprenticeship. And I think we're going completely off topic here, but this is very important. That one, if you're not good academically, it doesn't mean you don't have a future. I'm speaking to both the kids and the parents. And don't underestimate the value of working for free. So let's say, and I said this to someone who went and did a course in personal training through an institution in South Africa, and they paid 60,000 Rand or 30,000 Rand, whatever it was. And prior to them doing it, I said, do me a favor, come and work for me. Work with me, I'll mentor you, I'll train you, I'll develop you. And I have a proven track record with that, because all of our streaming guys, all of our media guys, all of our coaching guys have all come through our academy. Let me mentor you and coach you. And what you were going to pay for tertiary, pay yourself as a salary. So 60,000 Rand for 10 months, you get 6 grand a month. And it happened actually with a few people. that because we make it look so much fun, they want to do it. They all came to me afterwards and said, "You were right.
Nice.
I shouldn't have done the course. I didn't learn much. I didn't gain much." Because when you sit down and you actually do it,
Yeah.
you know. So I do understand these are businesses and they have to function, they have to operate, but I think working and spending time chatting
There's
to
nothing
the
like
head
that.
of Henley, yeah, it was very different.
Nothing like
but
that.
yeah, we need more mentorship and we need more people being willing to work.
Well, there was
for
no
free.
such thing, like once upon a time, of getting
No.
a certificate. You would work under
Correct,
someone.
yeah.
I think also
100%.
youngsters don't
Yeah.
understand the concept of working for free when
Yeah.
you're on social media and you see the glamorous life, and then when you don't have money in your pocket, it's like, ugh.
Correct, yeah. But as my
Love
I
that.
know,
yeah, as a gentleman,
I just
I'm a
love
big-
that.
I
yeah.
just had the emoji of that yellow
Yeah, the
face
black.
and the green
Yes.
coming
The black.
out, and had no way
The
else
vomit.
of saying that.
The
yeah.
black.
Yeah.
Okay, he with the queasy tummy who just ate at Seagulls. Well, apparently Seagulls is going to be sponsoring this next episode. Aren't you guys? Yeah. So, like, yeah. Oh, so good. And like, so you know, so evolve. So like, we do events. Like we've done book launches. We do sporting events. Like traveling internationally. Like go.
You have
I
book
just came-
launches?
What?
You have book launches?
We did a book launch for Lady Marichan Mortimer.
Can you do mine?
Who's a business coach with pleasure. Like it's amazing. Like here's the thing, right? Okay, and maybe the photographers listening to this. I say this lightheartedly. I'm
Both?
a genius.
Yes.
Okay? Well, no, I'm not a genius. I don't know. Maybe I am, but I'm an alcoholic. I have anxiety. Hello.
Is that a Bati or a Ricky?
That's somebody in
Oh,
Crocs,
oh.
by the way. You could hear them.
Another
Definitely
human.
Crocs. Very
Another
small
little
person.
human.
Another little bit.
Little
And
person
you're
that
a
big.
Bati.
In yeah.
Sorry.
She
sorry.
came to look. She said no cookies and ran off. Anyway, so it's fine. I'm placing. What happened?
They're not all
Yeah.
milky.
No, this is true. However, would you compare? Let us know in the comments, please.
yeah.
Would you have a milk cookie or a power of cookie if you had a choice?
Let's
we
vote
can add
right
a
now.
poll.
What do you
Okay.
think?
No, milk.
Milk.
jeez.
Milk.
No, I mean, no, actually, not necessarily. Like I like the brownie. It's like with oil. I mean, it's basically oily, chewy, toffee,
Sorry,
sticky
and
chocolate.
my stomach is full of heebie-jeebies
Oh, sorry.
because I feel like we like
Said the black person.
no, like ADD, like so amazing topics, like from cookies
Yeah.
to brownies to this. No, it's real and authentic. And
Just
I love
But
how it's
I've kept track on it. Right? If you have a headache,
Yeah.
let us know in the comments. No, so
And you turned out both mic on now.
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
worse than ever.
But now I'm stuck on cookies.
Okay, let's not. Let's not
okay.
even go there, guys.
Well, no. How about this as an idea? Let's throw this out there. Because I'm assuming people are listening to this worldwide, obviously share this worldwide, please. It's going to make a difference. You
Once
never.
had one listener from Saudi Arabia or something.
You never
We
know,
have a
right?
few, and I'm
Oh,
like,
cool.
I don't
what?
know. I have a feeling I know who that is. But
Yeah.
no, that lady who we had on the first year that we did.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So like everything that you do. So with the business, okay. Then we started the record label because we didn't want to have copyright issues on the YouTube channels and on our social media channels. So I started the first 2 albums came out of a amazing young producer who was in Europe. Then the following albums were developed by youth in the inner city of Johannesburg. So we found producers, we paid them to make the albums, and that way we were able to. Everything that we do is about maximizing the good. We always look for that.
Amazing.
So with that, and going back to the anxiety, because I have anxiety, because I stress, it enables me to be hypervigilant of everything, which means ultimately when I learn to manage that and control it and not let it control me, it affords me the opportunity to provide a very good product and control my environment. So as a photographer who rocking up at an event and being at the mercy of the lighting for a powerlifting competition, as an example, can be stressful and lower the quality of the product below your skill set. But we control the lighting, we control the setup of everything. We even pick the venues for a lot of the events.
You're just one big control freak.
No, beyond, absolutely.
Me too.
No, but there's nothing
No,
wrong
it's the best thing.
with having control, because control is simplicity, it's ease, and if you deliver a great product and experience, it's fantastic. So they're just as an idea for events. So and we do book launch. Maricha's book is unbelievable. She's she's got an amazing story. Actually, I'm going to chat to maybe you want to chat to her. Coming up in the new South Africa as an Afrikaans woman in the corporate world, and trying to have to deal with the cultural shift from white control to the affirmative action coming into the business. So new leaders perhaps with less experience, the old guard having to deal with that and learn from that, and how she took that and turned it from a challenge into turning these top old school business leaders into her mentors and guides.
That's
So
very
by adding incredible value. Amazing lady, amazing story. Okay, so then what else do we have? We have a lifestyle brand, and the lifestyle brand ties in with my love of travel and of clothing and of fun stuff, and that also gives us the opportunity to network and communicate with really high net worth guys, with the owners of beautiful homes and beautiful hotels and businesses, and that all then plays into one another, and then we can start putting those guys in touch with because we're going to then organize an event, we have an intimate knowledge of the hotel and the ethos of the hotel, so we can put the competition into that hotel at international level, and we know that it's going to be top notch where it counts.
Jeez.
Wow.
So all of these. So again, that's really the.
Is that everything you do?
No, there's more. That's the cognitive developmental issues and the anxiety of seeing everything. To understand that, okay, because I can now see everything, let me use that. Let me just park it. Don't have to think about it now, but I know it's there, or I write it down. And it's very often that I've had an idea 20 years ago and it's been implemented last week.
Wow, I was wondering, because that has been my question now in my life right now, is that it's very hard for me. I can't materialize this action now because I've got a lot going on in my life, and I think you also feel very similar.
Very much.
Than to hear like Achilles hope in 20 years' time.
No, but like,
It's never too late. It's never too late.
You know, in martial arts, there's a wonderful expression: the master will appear when the student is ready. Right?
But
So our master will
So
when we're ready.
But so first thing you have to do, and maybe let's go into a little bit of practicality here. First thing you have to do, I haven't even touched on what I do, which we'll get to now, outside of the businesses. First thing you have to do is be kind to yourself. That's your primary filter for your life. Is this thought that I'm thinking me being kind to myself?
right.
Okay? Is this action I'm taking me being kind to myself? Because here's the beautiful thing, and I love listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. It's like, I'm 54 years old, and I'm planning to do this for at least another 70 years. 127, please. Just putting that out there.
I'm just putting it up to him, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
Amen.
Thank you. 140, well, until, unless Mashiach comes sooner.
And that's a crazy moment for me because, I do relate to the suicidal experiences you've had, and now you're hoping to live longer.
Yeah, no, demanding.
Yes, demanding the big guy.
How much tzedakah? Come on. It's like, my jokes. Do you really want me up?
Do you really want me at the
How come Nick lived to 450 in good health? Well, the hell of a sense of humor. There we go. So it's just like, no, it's fine. We're okay up here. It comes back, as we take it back a few notches, that every decision you make, you have to be kind to yourself. Everything you tell yourself. And on that, I would also like to say, this is huge. And one of the things that I do is I'm an executive coach as well. I've evolved the physical coaching, something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
15 years. So I started coaching and training within martial arts, helping people in my 20s. So it's nearly 30, nearly four decades. Yeah, but really full time the last 15 or 16 years, 17 years, however long. Anyway, the thing is that with the executive coaching, one of the most powerful things that I tell my clients is, whose voice are you using when you talk negatively to yourself? Is it a parent? Is it a teacher? Is it a sibling? Is it a shopkeeper? Who in your childhood, whose voice are you using when you talk negatively to yourself? And that's when you have to filter everything through, am I being kind?
And I really want to get to the crux of why I asked you to come here. So
yeah, we've got another 4 hours.
It's everything you do is outstanding, and it's honestly makes me want to ask you a million questions, and I will in my own time.
I want to get up and dance on the table. I've never felt like that about any podcast.
That's so funny. Dance on the. That's so good. Tova always has a unique, equal sign. Whatever happens.
I think this is just very exciting.
It is very exciting.
But as you said,
I really want to. I want to come back to the business, but I want to. Now we have Nic now. But you weren't always this Nic. You were a different version.
So, very interesting comment. And let me say this. So, I'm signed out of Suno. I was going to play a song I made for Shlomo Wayne at the Chabad in Umschlange when you were going to dance on the table. So,
that was an expression, just in case my husband's listening.
no, leave a comment below. Hubby, how often are you dancing on the table?
This is the first time she's ever said that. So
excellent.
Nice, Nic.
Okay, so the question was, we back to the beginning?
What I really want is, it's the journey to how you are here right now.
Yes.
Look, you're going to have another million stories, please God, by 127, please God, 200, you know. Keep going, 450,
Forever.
whatever.
Yeah.
But you have stories and you have experiences that have made you who you are right now, and we want to find out.
Cool. So
we want to find out all the messy, all the details, all the things that, all the challenges that truly gave you the superpowers.
Cool. Love it. So I think also we spoke about what were, some have always been me.
I feel like it's an essence. Everyone has an essence.
And I have, this person has always been here.
Yes.
What I went threw a lot of mud on it.
Yes.
And covered it up and made it hard to see and breathe and move. So very simply, I'm adopted.
You were stuck in a swamp.
Yeah, basically. Baked in porcelain.
You're adopted.
Yeah, I'm adopted.
I don't think anyone said that yet
on
this podcast.
Okay. Now, I'm adopted. So here's the thing. I know that I was born 3 months premature, is what I was told by my family. I also, through the work that I've done with many fantastic therapists and counselors, both in the context of rehab and my alcoholism, and in the context of trying to get to understand who and what I am, that work led us to believe that the being born 3 months prem may have been due to my biological mother trying to abort me.
Okay.
We suspect, my understanding, she was young, so 15 or 16, and probably at 6 months you really start to show. It's a little bit harder to hide, and that's what we suspect. So I always like saying that, and this was told to me by therapists, in terms of looking at how my brain functions, how I think, and how everything goes on inside of my head.
So you're a mystery that they've learning to solve.
Learning to solve, basically. I'm a mystery wrapped in an enigma, dipped in Lindt chocolate, and
that's the best, right?
You like chocolate?
No, I love fruit chocolate. Nosh, just 100%. I didn't get to be 110 kilos by living on lettuce. So the thing is that with that start, and I always joke when I speak at a rehab center, because it always gets very serious very quickly. People are in a rough headspace. I always like to say my life started off with me, with my biological mother trying to kill me.
Yes.
So it can only get better from there. Yeah, like if you're starting there.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So,
Some things can be bad after that.
yeah, so I went, you know, when I speak of my parents, I speak about my adoptive dad, my adoptive mom. And my adoptive mom, Val, was an incredible woman. She gave me so many wonderful gifts, like the belief in magic and fairies and gnomes. And if you bring it back to adulthood, when you grow up with a child, she taught me to see the magic in the world. Which in essence, my mom wasn't religious, but that was her connection to Hashem. I completely believe that. Like, she may not have been able to articulate it, and she had her own struggles. So she was raised by my grandparents, who were an amazing couple, and you know, they were very loving, they were very kind, they were very generous. And my mom had serious mental health issues, and how things were dealt with in those days was not how we deal with things now.
Limited.
Very, very limited. And that led my mom who was sick for her whole life, taking her own life when she was 40. My stepdad, when my folks got divorced, my mom remarried. My stepdad, Errol, committed suicide. And that absolutely broke my mom. He killed himself, absolutely broke my mother.
So I think I'm losing track of the timeline. So you're saying...
So get born, my folks get divorced, my mom remarries.
Yes.
We moved to Natal, Hillcrest. My stepdad one day takes his own life.
Okay.
And I was there. So
you watched this happen?
Yeah. Not a pleasant thing for a child to
How old
experience.
were you?
4.
Oh, wow.
And we moved to Cape Town after my mom had time to heal. And I think that really was, my adoptive parents had a relationship, but I think my mom and Errol had there was a connection there that I couldn't explain. It was a magical childhood, growing up on a farm in Hillcrest, going into the forest to hunt for honey, having my own cow, chickens. It was amazing. It was like living on a farm. It was idyllic. And then my mom, her drug use escalated. So because I think the systems were not available.
Was she mourning?
Back then.
She was in a state of mourning.
She was not well from her teens.
Sorry, so this is
Your biological?
mom?
No, sorry. Okay, biological mom done. This is now my adopted mom. This is Val.
So just trying to follow the story.
Yeah.
You were in touch with your biological
No,
mom?
no contact with my
contact.
biological mother ever.
Did she take her life?
My biological mom. No,
Do you know
I
anything
have
about
no
her,
idea
or-
about her.
Oh, okay, fine.
So when I talk about that was my mom Val when she was 14.
Okay, fine. So
I
this
was
was
15
after
or
this was
16.
after your adoptive father.
Yeah, so my folks adopted me.
Yes.
Okay. And then my folks got divorced. My mom got remarried and we moved to Natal. And my stepdad Errol took his own life.
Yes.
Okay.
And after that, we moved to Cape Town, my mom and I. And my mom was a prescription sleeping pill and marijuana addict.
Okay.
Now, again, it's interesting that the process I've been through has taught me how to heal and forgive myself. For me, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to have done that for my mom. It just didn't exist back then.
Yeah.
And for her, her only way out was the drug use. And she was gay, and she had living girlfriends, and that was how she was trying to find peace and connection to who and what she was. My grandparents, her parents, were still very much involved in our lives. I was just telling the guys from Seagull Sausages, my grandparents would come down on holiday to Cape Town a couple of times a year, and they'd always bring big packets of Seagull sausages. It was very special. And that was a very good part of our childhood. It was a really great opportunity, time. With her drug use escalating, she started to do certain things that involved me that were not good for me. So she started to send me off to spend the night with, it's the first time I was with 2 of her gay male friends. And these guys kept me for the night and they raped me. I was 6 years old, and I remember the memories of this took a long time to come back, and the other abuse took a long time to come back. And I remember very difficultly, these 2 guys were asleep or had passed out on top of me once they were done. And I tried to crawl out from underneath them because I was awake and terrified and confused. And I got out from under them, and I was locked in the bedroom with them. And physically, the furthest I could get was to the wall and the window. So I went to stand there, and I looked out at the city with the Sea Point right across the road from the Ritz Protea Hotel. And this is where our decisions in life affect our life. Also, to go back a little bit, when Errol took his own life, I blamed myself, because that's what you do at 4 years old. At 6 years old, when this had happened, my thoughts weren't, I have to speak to my dad, I have to speak to my grandparents, I have to speak to my mom, I have to speak to a friend's parents, I have to speak to a teacher, I have to tell them what happened and get help. It's not how a 6-year-old child who's been through that thinks.
No.
I thought, what did I do that was so bad that would make my mom, who is perfect, send me here?
Yeah.
And that's what I based my entire life on.
And those are very scary, horrifying thoughts.
Yeah.
But that's what kids are going through.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, I mean, it's terrifying to think of how often this happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Oof. Beyond. And it happened, she started to send me off to these guys on the Cape Flats, and there would be multiple of them at a time, and I became like a party trick. And so there's a couple of difficult things, and I'll share this, and you know, I suppose we do need to be cautious in terms of bringing up memories for people, and you know, trigger warnings.
Yes.
And because when you say this is happening a lot, when I speak at either schools or universities or events or rehab on this, the number of people that come to me afterwards to say this happened to me, this is the first time I can talk about it, or this happened to me, and you know, is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. So, you know, the thing for me that's very difficult, the 2 things that are difficult to talk about. Firstly, I believe I have a good relationship with Hashem, and that my life is a gift. Proper. Like, and I believe like it's kind of weird, like I've got a great relationship with Hashem. Like He's had my back. The fact that when I was drinking and doing stupid stuff, and the fact that I'm still here, I'm here for a purpose, and please God that I'm fulfilling that purpose and using my gifts appropriately. But when the drinking stopped working and the chaos continued, sitting on my couch with my gun in my mouth, asking Hashem to give me the courage to kill myself. So if you break that down, asking Hashem to give me the courage to destroy the gift that He's given me. Tough place, huh? So I'm very grateful that I didn't pull the trigger, because I'm here. And people don't understand that. People don't understand suicide. They don't understand being near the brink and just being on that edge, and it's just a matter of a split-second decision. That it's a very courageous place to be, and it's a very painful place to be, and just to get there and not go over I can't tell you why I didn't pull the trigger. You know, like I can't.
I know this is a bit of a, but maybe there was some part somewhere in the back of the brain that thinking there must be more to life than this.
No, there's no. It's none. It's not. It's there is. You know, I had a friend of mine gave me a wonderful description. Suicide is a permanent problem. Sorry, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah, that's what people would say to me over and over again.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's until you've been there. All you can say to someone is, just take another minute, take another hour.
I guarantee you there are so many people walking around with the exact same
For sure.
experience, and I'm not taking away validity here. Everyone has it differently and uniquely, but like quite honestly, I've spoken to so many people, and what you've just said doesn't surprise me, and it's quite sad that it doesn't surprise me, you know.
No, but it's a wonderful protection for them. If you don't have to have this, right? The most tired you've ever been in your life, the most exhausted you have ever been, okay? Imagine that you're that exhausted, you get dropped in the bottom of a swimming pool, and then they pour concrete on you. And you're handcuffed to the bottom of the swimming pool. And you don't have the strength to even lift your head, but now got concrete on, you can't breathe, and it's hey? Oh, you're not okay. So, so then that's there is no hope.
Yeah.
There is no moment. There is no light. There is nothing. And I truly believe that something happens. And I need to be very careful when I say this. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen for those who go through with it. So I'm just going to say I don't know why I'm still here. And I'm very grateful that I'm still here. And I will say this, that, sure, this is hard to say. I will say this, this is not hard to say, that I would not change a single thing in my life, in my experience, and in what I've been through, because it got me here, and it got me here to come and hang out with you guys and talk about this. The thing that's very, very hard to say is that it doesn't matter what I say to the person at that point.
Right.
It won't make a difference. I was walking around this close to the edge, and no one would even know.
Yeah.
So for the families, sometimes there are no signs. There are no indications.
There are usually very specific rules when it comes to people who go through with it versus people who don't. And the very common thing that there's a lot of people who threaten, and they are generally the people who don't even try.
Yeah.
And then there are people who don't say anything, and before you know it, you blink and you don't know what happened.
Yep.
Tova wasn't able to stay here for the entire time, so we're just carrying on.
Yeah. So
here.
I think just the understanding of suicide and being in that place, I don't think you can understand it unless you've been there. And I think that maybe for those who sadly have lost someone, it's very similar to what we talk about in recovery for loved ones of members of addiction and people who care about addicts in active addiction. We talk about the 3 C's. Didn't cause it, can't control it, and can't cure it. We're not that powerful that we can do this. What we can provide is potentially the opportunity, like I got when I got called in by my bosses and asked if I had a drinking problem. I knew my life would have gone one of 2 ways. If I'd said no, I most likely would have been fired, and I would have been dead within 6 months. I would have shot myself, drunk myself to death, or killed myself in a car accident. So I've had like 18 plus and a half plus years of extra time, which is very special. But, in those moments that you can just offer help, but we're not that powerful that we can change what a person is feeling about themselves. You know, and I think that can be terrifying to hear. You know, I think as parents, as friends, as people who care, you provide an opportunity, and maybe this is actually a very important topic and something to even do a show on its own, but you provide an opportunity for that person as best as you can. But you also have to understand that you're human and you have to be kind to yourself, and you bring your life and your trauma to the relationship and the interaction. Parents aren't perfect, grandparents aren't perfect. No one is perfect. The problem is, as kids, we grow up believing they are, and we almost expect them to be. So in being kind to our parents, like I'm being kind to my mom, and being sensitive to the fact that she was in active addiction. She had incredible difficulties in her life. She had serious mental health challenges that she had to face, and she was unable to face them.
And I don't want to shed any disrespect or anger towards a person you don't want that to happen to. I just wonder how you are able to look at her with such a positive outlook.
Very simple.
Okay.
Very, very simple.
So to all the people, and I know most of us are always looking around and thinking that someone isn't doing a good job. But what you've done is
Yeah, for sure. Because
tell us how you do it.
It's so simple. My mom's not here. She took her life at 40. So the only person affected by how I feel about my mother is me. Don't I deserve the kindness to hunt down the beautiful traits in my mom? Don't I deserve the kindness to look for the very good things within her and choose to remember that and reflect on that?
Yeah.
And then as an addict, it's my responsibility to be sensitive to someone who didn't have the same structure, support and help that I did.
And
you know, and so because how I feel about my mom and saying she did the best she could with where she was and with what she had is for me.
Yeah.
That's the reality. You know, we can be better or we can be bitter. I can think about her and be angry and be resentful and be blaming and be did it. I've had to deal with enough, let me use a South African term, cuck, in my life. I've had to face enough challenges. I'm not willing to be my own challenge in terms of how I think about people in my life.
So I think because these are such sensitive topics, and talking about rape and sexual abuse or just abuse in general, if there's anyone listening on our podcast right now who has experienced anything similar or anything remotely alike to what you've gone through, how would you express to them to, I guess, give that kindness to themselves, that they're not angry or resentful? Or how do they get there? You know?
A lot of hard work.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work, because, you know, we carry that trauma for many years. I didn't remember it until one night, and it was even when I was drinking, I was watching Carte Blanche, and this guy had just come back from the Keg and Beagle, and had a couple of, when I say a couple of beers, let's say 15 or 20, and I was watching the show, and the memories of the first rapes came back. You know, that was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And then being sober for 11 years, took 11 years for the other memories to come back. And by the way, you know, this is the universe, whatever you want to say, has a sense of humor, because the day before I signed my get, and I got married sober, by the way, the day before I signed my get, the memories of the gang rapes came back.
Oh my gosh.
But that's the beautiful thing about being willing to fight for ourselves, is that every bit of pain that we go through makes us stronger for the pain we're about to go through. Every pain on a 20 kilogram bench press makes you stronger for the 25 kilogram bench press.
Yeah.
Every PB that we fight for makes us stronger for the next PB. We're not going to survive the next PB if we don't go through this PB. It's very similar. So to answer the question, it just comes down to understand it takes time. Work on being kind to yourself. And I think this is probably the most important thing out of all of this. The kindness, the love, the connection, the compassion, the support, the care, the nurturing that we desperately need from others. The only one who can give it to us in the way that we need it is ourselves. And that's our job, is to, and for me, I'll say it again, I got laughed at in rehab and people still tease me about it. But every morning I wake up and I look in the mirror and I tell myself 3 things that I like about myself. And when I go to bed at night, I write down, or I look in the mirror, tell myself 2 things that I'm proud of that I did that day. It does 2 things. Wake up in the morning with a mindset of liking yourself, even in the smallest way. And ending the day by wanting to tell yourself what you're proud of, or wanting to write down what you're proud of, means that you start to live your life in a way that you want to fill it with things that you're proud of. And that means we end up building a life that we're proud of. And when we're proud of something, we love it, we nurture it, we care for it more, we respect it, and we value it. That's what I do. And I think, again, it comes down to understanding the way that people treat us, what they do to us, how they affect us, how they deal with us, has nothing to do with us.
It's a reflection of how they feel.
Yeah, it's how they see the world, right? How they see the world through their stained glass windows, how they have experienced the world. It's a reflection on their values. If you have been through pain, do you want to protect people from pain, or do you want to inflict pain? If you've been loved and nurtured, do you want to share that with other people? Do you not feel that it's valuable? So I was treated like a thing, not because I was a thing, but because I had people around me that weren't able to, and I'm not justifying rape, but I'm saying that in understanding this and having sensitivity to other people, we can enhance our own value. The guys who raped me had a very different understanding, reality to the one that I had and the one that most of us have. But in that colored community where you have, in those poor communities, 5 people in a bed, and the boyfriend comes back drunk and wants to be intimate with the mother, and she says no because she doesn't feel like it, she's tired, she's whatever it is, and he either has his way with her or with one of the kids in the bed. Now, as a little child, you grow up seeing this. No doesn't mean anything. And I learned this firsthand when I shared at a rehab center. And a guy came up to me and he looked like one of my rapists, colored guy, big guy, gold teeth, gold chain, tattoos. And he said to me, he said, what you spoke about, I did. I raped little boys. He says, but it was done to me. And in that moment, I didn't see my rapist. I saw another little boy like me who had been raped and who had had everything taken away from him in that moment. I believe that rape is also a form of murder, because you kill who that child is and is going to be.
Yeah.
And it took me 11 years of being sober to start getting me back. That was our first discussion, right? And I chose, because I didn't have a choice in what happened to me, but I darn sure can choose what I do now, what I choose, how I choose to see the world, how I choose to see people. When I looked at him, I saw a little boy like me, not my rapist. And I chose to understand what he was going through and how it had an effect on me. But in understanding that I wasn't bad, I wasn't terrible, I wasn't rubbish, which is what I grew up believing. I was a little boy who was in a place that no little boy should ever be, no little child should ever be. And the people that were there didn't have the capacity, the skills, or the life experience to keep me safe and not use me and not abuse me. And I'm not even going into the mental illness aspect of it. I'm just talking purely developmental. So that's the understanding that we are not things. What happened to us is not a reflection on who or what we are.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you developed your substance abuse through
Pesach. 9 years old, 4 cups of wine at the Churins
Sheesh.
in Rapello, a block of flats in Sea Point.
So you started your addiction at the age of 9.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know I'm an alcoholic because 4 years old, how many cups of wine do we get at Pesach? 4, right? I finished my 4 cups. The other kids didn't like the wine. It was love at first sip for me.
Oh, shit.
And I started stealing their wine and then getting nervous people were watching me. I started to pour their wine into my pea soup. So I already started lying and manipulating and working a plan at that age, one of the first time I drank. So yeah, it was very special. And then when I moved to Johannesburg after my mom passed, and
How old were you when she was 40?
15, 16.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So you were orphaned.
no, I came to stay with my dad. So remember my mom's second
Yes.
marriage. So I came to stay with Les, and very grateful that I was able to be sober with him for a long time, and that was a gift for him and for me. And we built a wonderful relationship, which was very special. So that, but he was at work. I came back from college and started off with a couple of Manhattan lemon stings in the afternoon. Then what was it? There were like kiwi Perle wine drinks. And before I knew it, it was a case or 2 a day sometimes. So I would stop. I'd stop for a year, and when I went back, it was just chaos. And I'd stop for 18 months, go back, it was just chaos. Until I went to go see Dan Wolf at Houghton. Well, he was there at First Step, and he had a meeting with Dan. And Dan, so I was 50 kilos heavier, stank like the back of a bottle store. My insurance career, which started off incredibly promising, was collapsing. And they said, "Nick, do you have a drinking problem?" And if I said no, I most likely would have been fired and dead. And I said yes. They said, "Do you want help?" I said, "Please." And that was on a Thursday. Friday morning, I was sitting in front of Dan at 8 a.m.
Gee, that's good.
And Monday morning, I started the program. Sunday night, I had a bride at my place, said goodbye to my friends at the bar, put down my last beer. I had 3 beers because I didn't want to have a hangover. 3 Hunses. I suppose if you're going to stop drinking, Hunts is a good beer to stop drinking on, because you don't have a great taste memory after that. Sorry, Hansa. And I walked in Monday, 4 p.m., 12 Gayra Road, Sandton, First Step.
And it's with any addiction, no one's ready.
I was ready.
I
was so ready.
When I say not ready, no one's ready
No,
to
but-
put down a drink.
No
one's ready to put down whatever they've been addicted to.
I was, and what you're saying is very correct.
Yeah.
It's a big challenge. But for me,
It's not just a challenge.
No,
It's
no.
literally...
life and death.
Yes, that's how it feels.
The thing for me was that I'd gotten to a point where I was going to be dead within 6 months. The point of not wanting to put down the drink passed because I had the taste of my gun in my mouth. So getting to that point on more than one occasion, that's hard place to be. I was willing to try anything because truly I didn't want to die. I didn't want to die, but I had no idea how to live. So when I had that opportunity presented to me and I went to go see Dan and I sat with him and he said, right, Nick, you're an alcoholic. You start. So that's right. This stuff happens. Like, you know, these things with technology, the message is what's going to make a difference in someone's life. Not a beep and then a pause, right?
And then the sound.
You know, and if you are triggered by the sounds, you know, then leave a comment below. So, you know, the thing for me was Dan telling me I'm an alcoholic. I made that decision, my last drink, put it down, I'm done. Like, I'm done because I'm dead in a very short period of time. This life is over. And I think truly maybe for me the reason I didn't pull the trigger is I didn't want my dad to find me. That was the biggest thing that stopped. Like, who finds this mess? And I loved my father. I love my father very much. I didn't want to do that to him.
And you had experienced that as a child.
Yeah. Seeing it happen. So, you know, yeah, listen, I mean, and my stepdad and my mom taught me that suicide was a viable option, right? So that was my rock bottom. But rock bottom comes in many different forms and many different times, many different levels, and we have to be willing to embrace that. I embraced my rock bottom. And when I sat in my car, I was at the meeting about 30 minutes early. I said to myself, I have no idea what's going on. I have no clue about this life and how to live in it. I'm going to shut up and do whatever the hell they tell me. And that's what got me. That was my surrender. So like there was no desire or intention to pick up a drink. There was craving for sure. People's, places, things, moments. For many years, driving down the Linksfield off-ramp or on-ramp at sunset or late afternoon would trigger terrible memories because that's always when I'd be pulling in there. So that, you know, that's, yeah, it just, no drink has ever been as valuable as my darkest day in sobriety because I get to choose.
It's a very, like, it's an incredible decision you made. It's not a decision that a lot of people can make.
No, it's a decision to live or die.
And a lot of people would have chosen the other one. So for those people who are literally...
Maybe it's my people pleasing that saved me. Right? Yeah, my boss said, do you have a drinking problem? They probably think I have a drinking problem. I don't want to disappoint them. I have to be, yeah, I have a drinking problem. Do you want help? Okay, they're obviously offering. No, it very well could have been.
Because that's like a... It's for people who are listening to this and have a personal experience with this. You know, a lot of people can't put the drink down and make the hard decision.
No, they won't.
They will not.
It's not that they can't. It's they choose not to.
Okay.
This is all still a choice.
I agree. I do agree. But they will claim otherwise.
Sure, absolutely.
So in terms of that, I'm assuming once again, which is the hardest part about watching everyone live their lives, you know, and the hardest part about watching a person go down their own dark rabbit hole is there is nothing you can say that is going to make them make a decision.
No.
Nothing.
There is nothing that you can say other than, I love you, I care about you, I'm worried about you. Please, I will go with you. Can we get you help? Because step one, admitting that I'm powerless over my addiction. That's the thing. No, I can handle
that's
it.
the first step.
Yeah, that's the first
I find
step.
that people generally will always say that I could stop whenever I wanted.
Stop whenever I stopped for 18 months. I stopped for a year.
Yeah, you can stop whenever you want.
I was just a dry drunk. I stopped between rounds.
Yeah, like that's funny.
No, but
Honestly.
It is funny. But that's the truth. I can stop whenever I want. I'll take an extra minute before I order my next. Take 2 minutes.
Look at me go. That's what
Yeah,
you're saying. But there's a lot of
100%.
people who are experiencing this, and this is obviously not a talked enough issue. There are people, probably every 2 people. 1 in every 2 people are struggling with some sort of addiction.
And in
whatever that
and in
is.
this community,
It's a huge problem.
L'chaim clubs, and
Huge problem. And being exposed to this type of stuff will naturally allow us to basically become addicts.
Well, we don't know if we're addicts before we pick up, and then it's too late. So I'll never tell a kid not to start drinking or not to try drugs, because they won't listen to me.
Yeah.
But I will say to them, once you open that door, you may not be able to close it.
Or you may not choose to close it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, 100%. And, it's like, this is what drives me mad, and hopefully this message can get out to somebody. We focus on the alcohol point. What do they call it? Not like brocha clubs or simcha clubs or l'chaim club or whiskey clubs. You don't need to have a whiskey before you daven on a Saturday morning. You don't need to have a whiskey before you daven on a Friday night. You don't need to have a whiskey on a Saturday morning between Shachris and Musaf. Okay? We're Jews. Give us food. You don't need alcohol. I mean that seriously. And like for me, this is what I see, which is so insidious in this disease. And I'm sure, the idea about having a guy speak for either guys or their partners. But maybe this could be speaking to the wives, that if this sounds familiar, reach out and ask for help from someone. That this is the classic story that I see. Friday afternoon, hubby comes home from work and has a whiskey or 2 before shul. Or maybe rushes to shul and has a whiskey with the boys, right? They've got kids doing this as well. Then davens, maybe has a whiskey after shul. Comes home and he's already had a couple of whiskeys now. Maybe he's had whiskeys with the boys at work before coming home. And now he's a bit shikkered. And it's either going out for Friday night dinner where he gets more shikkered. Or he's at home, gets shikkered, and goes to bed early. Because that he's been drinking. So what's happened in reality on the Friday night is that because he's been drunk, he hasn't had the opportunities to be present with his wife. Probably the only night that they get that time together. After they come back from a dinner out. After they are done with their own dinner and put the kids to bed. He hasn't had the opportunity to be present with his kids at the table. He wakes up in the morning with a bit of a hangover. Best way to deal with the hangover, goes to shul, their l'chaim club or whiskey club before they daven. Finishes davening, couple of whiskeys at the brocha. Comes home, has lunch, some wine with lunch, some whiskey with lunch, and the shlof on the couch. Oh, that Shabbos shlof on the couch
It's
or
like nothing
upstairs.
else.
Huh?
It's like nothing else.
But what's happened in reality is because he's drunk, he's not connecting to his kids or his wife. Because he's drunk, he's passing out on the couch or in bed, and he's not in the garden playing soccer with his kids. He's not walking to shul for Mincha and Ma'ariv, or maybe he is. And he's telling himself, I work hard. I provide for my
deserve
family.
this.
I need a shlof on a Friday evening, an early night. I want a shlof on a Saturday afternoon, right? And all of these things that we do with the alcohol, whether it's a young guy or an old guy, you're robbing opportunity and experience and connection from yourself and your family, where you have no idea, because it's your norm, what else you could be doing. And here's the thing, for me, my entire life is alcohol when I'm drinking. So when I'm at everyone who in my social circle drinks. And it's the biggest thing when I speak to addicts in early recovery. Yeah, but what do I do? All of my friends, my whole da. So I say to them, dude, I've been sober for 19 years. No one I know drinks excessively. Very few people I know drink around me. No one drinks around me. Yeah, I have a cigar club that I go to. The guys drink there. But they're very respectful. I have my own bottle of water. And a new guy might come in and take some of my water for his whiskey, and he gets him a Pola. But, so like very respectful and appreciative of that. So you can only change your life once you change your life. And that also has to change. So there's no need to drink alcohol Erev Shabbos. There's no need to drink alcohol Motzei Shabbos. There's no need to drink alcohol on Shabbos. There's no need to get so drunk you don't know your own name on Simchas Torah or on any other holiday. The time with kids. How long ago were you married?
4 years.
Doesn't it seem like yesterday?
Yeah.
How fast?
No, time flies.
Time flies. Before you know it, everybody is gone. So build those present moments. Give your children the gift of you being present. It's so important. And we spoke about the abuse and how many people are struggling. If you can't put that drink down, or looking forward to your next one, where the whiskey at the shul is more important than the Amida. The whiskey at the shul is more important than Aleinu.
There's something wrong.
There's something wrong. And you don't, and that no one deserves to live in that. There's something broken in your connection to your world.
It's like a disconnect.
Yeah.
Sure. It's a lot to think about, and especially if there's anyone listening who does experience any of these things, it's quite a hard pill to swallow. To really realize, like, oh my gosh, I need to go get help. Or if I don't get help, I'm going to carry on living like this.
Oh, yeah, medicine is bitter. It's interesting that they make medicine taste terrible because we associate terrible tasting medicine with its effectiveness. The worse it tastes, the more effective it is.
That is so true. It's something I've never thought about.
Yeah. So the worse it is,
the better it feels.
The better it's going to be, So there was an incredible movie called Jacob's Ladder. I think Macaulay Culkin was actually in it. Macaulay Culkin and Tim Robbins. What a movie. Long story, he was a Vietnam veteran and he felt he was being chased by these demons. And they were trying to tear him apart and drag him down into hell. It turned out, when he stopped running and faced them, that they turned out to be his angels trying to take him to his pain so he would know where to go to heal. Only when we're willing to go into our pain are we able to start healing. We can't heal something we don't know or don't understand. Then we're just painting sugar over it.
I really do feel like I've met so many wonderful people. Thank God. I'm so grateful for those experiences, and for everyone has something to share, and everyone has some knowledge that I've never ever heard of before. And I think what I do find is the people who struggle the most, the people who work the hardest to get out of difficulty, are the people that I naturally find the most respectful. And that being said, like, I don't respect the person who doesn't choose to make the hard decision. And I'm not saying I don't respect them at all. I don't respect them in the way that they're choosing to live their life.
Is it maybe that you feel so much pain for them that almost in a way to protect yourself, you shut off any connection to them?
No, I don't think it's shutting off connection. And I don't feel like it's not any feelings towards someone. It's that you choose the people in your life who you would like to copy versus what you would prefer not to do. You know?
100%. No, for sure. We become who we hang around.
Yeah, so, but also, even if you're hanging around people like that, I'm not shaming anyone who's going through this currently. I'm saying that naturally I will look up and ask people to mentor me if they've gone through the struggle and chosen to do the hard thing. And
Not 100%.
And that's like, I think...
You don't have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
You are very particular where you give your energy and ask for energy.
I think that happens as you get older. I think as a child, all you're doing is literally just exploring. You're like,
surviving.
cool, I'll choose that friend. That friend is bad for me, you know? And it's like, I don't care. They're cool, you know? And then slowly but surely you start realizing, hey, I don't really need to be cool. I can be,
Or
you know?
it goes to, this is the only person who's willing to be friends with me.
Yeah. I mean, look, everyone has a
So
different
it's
story.
It's them or alone.
Exactly. And so now you're with someone who isn't necessarily a good influence in that time. Hopefully they will be. And everyone changes, and I do believe that we are all redeemable.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
For you, what would you like people to take away from this conversation?
I think the biggest thing that I really, really wanted to bring to the table is firstly an experience that hadn't been spoken about. And we definitely have covered that. But also, sometimes not just copying and following and doing what everyone else is telling you to do. Instead of doing that and really just doing what is right for you, that's when you reach the potential you never even thought was possible.
100%.
And you say your struggles have given you superpowers. I 100% believe you. And I can see that. And you bring so much to the table. You bring so much to this world. You bring so much to just one story that you've shared on here, which has been like, a bit over an hour. And the power that it has is to change someone else's world. The way they see things. Hopefully honestly, I'm like hoping there's an addict on here who all of a sudden decides it's time.
There's a chance. You know, I think having met so many addicts, probably hundreds of thousands by now, I never met an addict who was a bad person. I met wonderful, good people who did terrible things. And I've never met an addict whose presence in the world, sober, doesn't make the world a much better place.
That's wonderful.
We deserve to have all of us here being our best. We have to be careful, who we hang around with, who we associate with. Before we can learn any of that, we have to learn who we are. And I think the first relationship, the most important relationship that we have to work on and develop is us, and developing that relationship with our best friend.
Yeah.
Who we are.
Well, no one else is walking with you all the time.
Not a chance.
And this is what I always like to say. Also, it's a very common thing that people like to say, and I personally don't believe in it. Everyone else can have their own opinions, but when someone says to me, I understand, I really, really, truly feel like, no, you don't. There's no chance. We've all experienced something unique. We've all experienced something different. And even if it is as similar as it gets, it is never the same.
No.
And so even when an addict is talking to another addict, there's so much comfort in knowing that someone else has experienced something somewhat similar to you, but it is never exactly the same.
So it's interesting with addiction, and what I found over the years. is it's like I like to use it to freak out addicts. It's like I tell them exactly what they're thinking and they're feeling. And I tell them it's not because I'm psychic or have, I've experienced exactly,
I've been there, bro.
I've experienced exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And I've gone through the same thing. So my reflecting back on what I've experienced, you are able to relate to it in your experience. And like that's really the cool thing. And like for me, I love being an addict. And I love going to meetings, and I love being in the rooms, and I love being surrounded by this community, because you see fight, you see struggle, you see people giving up on themselves, you see people fighting for themselves, you see people in denial, you see people telling the truth, and just it's a hyper example of what's going on in the real world.
Yeah.
But I can go into any meeting anywhere in the world, say nothing, and have a connection, or share my heart and soul and pain that I'm going through, and at least one person will get it.
Yeah.
If not all of them.
And
very few people have that on any level.
And this is what me and Tova started off with. At the beginning, I lost sight, and I was like, I want lots of people to hear what we're saying. And she says, Racheli, we just need one person to hear us. And it was such it was a wonderful, like my feet were put on the ground, all of a sudden. And I was like, she's right. If one person, even if it's just for the benefit of us sitting here and talking, that's what we're doing it for. And before we end off, I know that we're coming to an end soon, and
Mashiach?
Right now.
No.
So,
well, we have a surprise guest for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, please, God. Please walk in. The first thing that I really want to actually talk about is exercise. Firstly, on a personal level, I was going through a lot. I was experiencing a lot. I haven't shared enormous amounts about myself and about what I've gone through in the past. A lot of things that you've said has resonated with me and Tova, and it's really incredible. But the first thing that really started to save my life was exercise. And it's not I'm a very, very active person. I work out 4 times a week at least, if not more. I run 4 times a week. I do strength training 4 times a week. And it's just something that is the biggest metaphor for mental struggle.
Because it's linear.
And it's not. I would say it's not a linear.
No, strength training, linear. Running, linear. So what I mean by that is what you can't achieve today, if you set it as a goal, that you then have to break down into steps to work towards. Yeah. You can work towards it and achieve that goal. So linear, okay.
When we say
point
linear,
A, point B.
We understand how to get there. Well, when we really understand.
It's an opportunity to prove to ourselves that we're capable of far more than we believed. So when we achieve a PB or whatever that is, it's proof that we're able to do something we believed we couldn't do before, and then we can apply that in every area of our life.
And that's I've been doing it since I was.
So what's your PB?
My PB. When I used to lift.
Yeah. Why did you stop lifting?
It's just not. It wasn't working with my lifestyle at the time. It's wonderful and amazing, and I was at 2.0 gym. So I really did enjoy it. And loved it. It's just I was also a dancer, and when you have both things on top of each other, it just doesn't seem to always work out physically. So that's the only reason. Well,
there needs just to be potentially more mobility, flexibility. Lifting is neural. You train your nervous system. Strength is neural. Lifting needs to be done in a way that is unique to that individual's needs. So there can be lifting to support dancing. There can be dancing to support lifting. One of the top powerlifters in South Africa is an Olympic, she's a powerlifter, she's an Olympic weightlifter, and she's also a professional dancer.
Amazing. So, I mean, being 18 or 19 when I did this, I was uneducated.
No,
And then, moved into other aspects of working out. But
isn't it good? Like, you find stuff, and like, lifting's a skill. It's with you forever. If you want to do it, you can do it.
yeah.
You must make you smile.
I get excited. I get excited when I have to lift something and I'm like, I know exactly the form that I need to use.
Yes. Babe, can you come and lift this for me?
Don't think so. But I would get the posture right. So, yeah. So I would say, did you also experience a lot of like a whole new type of world when you were introducing yourself into the fitness industry?
So for me, I started with martial arts when I was also like 5-6 years old.
Okay.
So I've got a very big background in that, and then drinking stopped. But for me, the training, particularly very early on in recovery, I went to Cape Town, I got wiped out financially. So like in sobriety, I've been homeless twice. Like quite crazy. I was living in Joburg. A friend of mine, Ian Levitt, gave me an apartment. I moved back to Joburg. Ian gave me an apartment to stay in, rent-free, so I could get back on my feet. I slept on the floor for 8 months until he found out, and then he gave me a bed. He was very cross that I didn't tell him.
Oh, shit.
But on a foam camping mattress, it was amazing. It was cathartic. Some of the best time of my life. You know, when you are going through such financial difficulties that you can't afford food, or the only food that you can afford is bread that's about to go stale and it's on the discount table. I mean, that's what I lived off in Cape Town. I came back to Joburg, into this flat. There were 2 plastic chairs, a desk, and my friend Robbie Cohen gave me a foam mattress. And I sat. I got my first paycheck, and Robbie also gave me a job. Got my first paycheck, and I was very cautious with the money. I bought a loaf of bread, and I bought Tussis cheese, no butter, and I cut 2 very thin slices of cheese, and I made myself 2 cheese sandwiches. And I sat on that balcony in Glenrand, and I looked over Hazelwood and the sunset. And I took a bite. I mean, I can feel it now. Like, I'm excited. It's crazy. Like, I've had so many wonderful moments, but this is one of the top moments of my life. Was eating a sandwich with cheese in it in my home. Like, it's a funny thing that
It's an amazing memory.
Yeah.
Like, it's
used to go to the shul, Brocha, at Ossemerg in Cape Town. And that was my best meal of the week.
Sure.
And I had a friend of mine, Mark Cameron, in Cape Town, amazing guy. He was ops manager for a restaurant, and he would invite me around when he was in Cape Town to come for a meal, to test the meal. But what he was doing was feeding me with dignity. And
sweet, and you really realize how special people are. Hey?
Yeah, beyond. So like that's you talk about like that. Just a cheese sandwich is something that.
And now that's a metaphor for the rest of your life. It's something that will always feel special to you.
It's something it's a badge of honor, and something that I'm grateful for.
You
and
should
proud
really
of.
advertise for Tussis now, and they'll literally make you their poster boy.
Their spokesman, yeah. That's
the spokesman for Tussis cheese.
You know, the thing with that, it's really down to, again, we said linear, right? Everything, the rapes gave me the strength. Errol's suicide and surviving that gave me the strength to survive the rapes. The rapes gave me the strength to survive my alcoholism. The alcoholism and the suicides and the rapes gave me the strength to survive losing my business and being homeless, and the appreciation of the cheese. And that gave me the strength to get through my divorce, because that was the most pain I'd ever been through sober. And then gave me the strength to get through losing my dad, and more importantly, the month that he was in ICU was to be sober and present and give him the support that he needed. So our pain gives us the strength to get through the next pain. like our training.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Before we do end, me and Tova have a ritual. And
Uh-oh.
yeah.
What are you doing with that shoe? Well, what is he like? Yes.
We say one thing that we're grateful for.
Cool.
So I'm happy to begin. I'm very grateful, firstly, as always, I'm very grateful to have this platform, and to have guests such as yourself come on here and share such wisdom and knowledge that we can't know because we've not experienced what you've experienced. And so I'm really, really grateful for, firstly, finally hearing it from someone who has gone through addiction, rape, suicide. Like, I'm so grateful that, you know, it's I would say it's much more common than people realize. And I'm really, really just so grateful for you being so honest and honestly honest about your experiences in this world, because you've not held back. And it's not a common thing you find in this world where someone uses their struggle to help other people's struggles. So I'm really, really grateful for your time, for your energy, and for the honor of meeting you and sharing what you have to offer to this world. So thank you so much.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I think for me, the first thing that I would like to say is I'm grateful for what you and Tova are doing. Because the more people who have the courage to talk and to give a platform for others to talk. Rehab works, meetings work because we share. And we share until we have something to share. So we take in other people sharing and use that to heal and to learn about ourselves and about the world until we can give back. And that's our sharing. So to give people the facility, the opportunities to share, put their story out there. And as you said, one addict may hear. You know,
I mean, hopefully there isn't an addict,
Yeah,
but you know, if they're listening.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story of a little boy on the beach, and there's tens of thousands of starfish washed up after a storm, and he's throwing in one starfish at a time. And a guy comes up to me and says, "What you doing, kid?" He says, "I'm throwing back starfish so they
can live.
They can live." And he looks around. He says, "But there's tens of thousands. You can't help all of them. It's not going to make a difference." He says, "To the starfish I'm throwing back, it will." And that's the thing. It's not about helping everybody. And sometimes we really want to. We really want to keep setting ourselves up for failure so that we can finally prove to ourselves that we're no good and everything negative that we believe about ourselves, which is not true. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. But I'm grateful for what you do.
Thank you.
And I think I'll end on saying as well that I'm grateful for my experience because it brought me here to meet you.
Your entire life, this is what you were made for.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. This and Frangelica's cheesecake.
We know that Nic likes food, hey?
No. Nic loves food. You know, I mean, what an amazing thing. Food is a commitment to time. I think that's why I love food and cigars. It's a commitment to time, and it's a commitment to time made so much better when shared with others.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you so much to every single person listening and taking time to be real with yourselves.
Yeah, that's it. And I think just on a practical point to finish, there are many wonderful resources. Look at AA, alcoholicsanonymous.org, or narcoticsanonymous.org, and reach out. You know, for drugs, alcohol, speak to someone that you know you can trust. And if you don't, find someone online.
Or a friend.
Or a friend, yeah, that's it. A friend that is healthy and appropriate.
You learned that from me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. Wishing you all the best, and wherever you are, have an awesome day.